Welcome to another episode of It's a Long Road, the Rambo series podcast. I'm your host, Ryan, and with me today, of course, is my co-host, partner in crime, Mr. Dominic. How you doing, brother?
I got a little laggy there.
Oh, okay. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How's everything, Ryan?
Going well. Don't worry. This is the live recording. If it's garbage, I clean it up in post. That's my job. Try to make it sound as professional as we can. Anything new happened this week? We got to do that little banter before the show starts. Anything new happen?
Same old. I was supposed to go to a concert this coming week that something happened.
Yeah, we'll get to that segment just a bit. Yeah, we got a lot to cover today, folks. We of course, we're a Rambo podcast, so we'll be covering.
I can't even say it with a straight face.
At some point, we'll be covering the Rambo film, Rambo Last Blood. I'm enjoying covering it. We're almost halfway through the film, so that means we're halfway through the season, which means we're almost done the series, our podcast.
No more Rambo.
I know. It's going to be sad, man. It's going to be sad. Are you going to miss him?
I'm going to miss him.
So here we go, folks. Are you ready for another episode of Frank Stallone? I think this is, I haven't been counting, but I think this might be our 11th segment.
Like, 11 segments. Could you imagine we did 11 Frank Stallone segments?
I think if you were to tell me when I did the first, it was just by happenstance. I don't know how it started. I don't even know how it got.
That's what I was saying last time. It's all a blur now, Ryan. I don't even know. We're just here and we're smack dead in the middle of it. And I don't even know how it started either.
All right, here we go.
In Princess Anne, Maryland, state health officials have discovered what caused the mysterious death of 200,000 fish at a Somerset County fish farm. The culprit? You guessed it, Frank Stallone.
And here's another segment of Frank Stallone. Who is this guy?
Now, before we get into this week with Frank Stallone, I want to give an update on our previous Frank Stallone coverage. Yes, remember the YouTube channel, The Gift?
How could I forget?
Okay. Guys, if you missed it, go check out episode 4 of Rambo Last Blood, where we discovered, by accident, this YouTube channel called The Gift. We displayed or showed the videos that this gentleman posted on his YouTube channel and how a lot of them were Frank Stallone related. Mm-hmm. So I reached out to the individual saying, hey, what's going on here? What's happening on your channel? I feel bad. Because Dom, we destroyed his channel.
Unintentionally.
Yeah, we meant no, not to say disrespect, but we meant no harm. We didn't mean to do anything to him. Or look, he's a YouTuber. He's a creator. He wants to post things on the internet to share with the world. He still only has two subscribers, so none of our listeners subscribe to his poor channel. And I feel bad for him. But so he did reach back. He said, hello, this is from The Gift. He said, hello, I would be happy to answer your questions. I did respond to your comments. I don't know why you didn't see it. Mr. The Gift, I did see it, but you didn't say you'd come on the show. I don't recall that because I think I said, hey, I'd love to have you come on the podcast and we'd love to talk to you about what you posted. He just said something to the effect of, it was weird. The answer wasn't clear that he said, I want to come on your show. That it wasn't that. So anyway, so he felt maybe I was ignoring him, but it's not true. He says those videos that we showed on our, and the other ones on his channel, those videos are from 2016, 7 years ago.
Oh, wow.
When he used to work at the School of Rock. So we did mention that there was a kids rock and roll camp called School of Rock, probably based on the movie with Jack Black. Mm-hmm. He said here, I was really into Norm Macdonald's non-sequitur jokes, in particular the Frank Stallone ones, as we are. So again, we're on the same page as The Gift. We loved Norm.
I idolize Norm Macdonald. Big fan.
Yeah, and I figured you would. We're very similar sense of humor. So yeah, Norm Macdonald, rest in peace, he was amazing. Between Norm and Frank, the wrong person died. The world of entertainment lost somebody that day. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. Okay, he continues. He says, I shared it with the kids, and most of them loved it. The parents were all aware of everything, including management. Wow. So even management was aware of the filming.
Got the approvals, got the proper approvals.
Tom, did you recall the call to the police that you made? Did you?
I actually called back and I said everything's fine after you sent me what you sent me.
Okay. He goes on to say, I'm an avant-garde artist who did indeed used to play in the band Dude Buggy. And his stage name with that band was called The Gift. There you go. It's making sense now.
Kind of like The Edge from U2.
That's right. You have The Edge and you have The Gift. Again, pick your artist. He goes on to say, I definitely spent time on those video clips because I mentioned like there's work put into these video clips. Like he would post these on his YouTube channel. And there's this post-production to these Frank Stallone clips. Again, nobody was watching but me and our listeners. He goes on to say David Lynch is his favorite. So good call on that one. Thanks. The Gift.
It's funny.
Yeah, we caught that. He goes on to say, but I like to be somewhat private and have no concern for getting subscribers. We weren't saying you had to have the subscribers. Like we don't have very many either. It wasn't about that. But again, if anyone posts things on YouTube, my philosophy is that is public. If it's on YouTube, it's not private.
There's the public domain at that point.
That's right. Exactly. So if you're somewhat private,
itself up for criticism, whatever else.
Exactly. We get it on our show or we get comments made that people aren't crazy about us. And that's okay because, once you go public, it's anyone can comment on it unless you turn comments off, which some of his videos did have them off, or at the very least, we could see the videos because they were publicly available on YouTube. He continues, I failed to realize, this is interesting, I failed to realize that by putting Frank Stallone in the titles, it would draw attention. That was your first mistake.
I like that. That's like a backhanded insult to Frank Stallone. I failed to realize that putting Frank Stallone in the comments would draw attention.
But little did he know what would happen by putting Frank Stallone in your title. He should know better. This is Frank Stallone.
He opened the door for us.
This is where I feel terrible. This is where I legit feel bad. As a fellow creator on the YouTubes, he said, I removed the videos just because I'd rather not be misunderstood again, as it is a recurring theme in his life. And I feel bad about this.
Yeah.
And this is where I feel bad because The Gift, I don't know your real name. We had no intention of exposing you. This was not our intent. And I would say the jokes about the kids and, are they there on their own accord? That was just us being silly. That was entertainment purposes. Right. We really didn't believe they were in any danger.
Mm-hmm. The burning Frank Stallone picture was a little alarming, but
things were alarming because when you go into his channel cold, not knowing any of the avant-garde stuff, his love of David Lynch, it's really a weird channel. But that's what we loved about it. He goes on to say, but that's cool that you were intrigued, and I understand your concerns. Again, 99% of the concerns was just us
being silly.
Yeah, but it's all good. I'm totally fine with having them down. It just makes me feel better. And I'm not sure about this. Is he saying it makes them feel better that they're down or that they were there? Like I said, he goes on, I get misunderstood a lot. I feel terrible. He's mentioned this twice.
Yeah, we didn't want to do that.
No, that wasn't
Gift.
The Gift, we're sorry. But he says, my intentions are always pure. As are ours. When we delve into the Frank Stallone world, they're pure intentions. You just happen to be an innocent bystander in our journey of the Frank Stallone universe. I feel bad. We have a casualty.
Ryan, this is what happens when you get in too deep to the Frank Stallone mythology. That's what happens.
He goes on to say, I'm a well-liked and respected teacher who loves his job. I hope this clears things up. Not only does it clear things up, above and beyond, Mr. The Gift, we meant no harm ourselves. Our intentions were pure. We just wanted to make sure the kids were safe.
We wanted to make sure Frank Stallone was safe. We didn't know, if he was gonna be a sacrifice or something like that.
Because remember one of the videos, which again I wish I downloaded. It's too late now. But one of the videos was Satanic Ritual for Frank Stallone. It was there.
The title alone is alarming.
I responded, oh, no, don't take them down. I feel bad. Sorry to see it go. And he responded with, oh, it's totally fine. No worries. I still have them. I love how he still has these videos in his possession. Thank goodness he didn't delete them from the world. One day these might be unearthed again. So that's good. He goes, I appreciate you responding. Thanks in advance. And he goes, lastly, this is the last we heard from The Gift. He says, for extra clarification, I should also mention that most of these videos were shot during breaks from the kids' rock sessions. The art projects are from summer camps, and they get to pick a band name and make a poster. But they were all Frank-oriented, which is fine. That was what made it funny. Can we all just say rest in peace to The Gift? And I went to his channel. You remember I said he had 200 videos? And then he said he took down all the ones with Frank? Now he's got like 12.
Ooh, there was a lot of Frank content on there.
I know. I feel bad to shut down his channel.
Yeah, Gift, you should have left him up, Gift. We don't mean to disrespect. I'm a big fan of David Lynch as well. So now, in hindsight, looking at this photo of Frank Stallone burning, I understand it a little bit more.
My heart breaks a little bit. Doesn't yours?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. There's the update regarding that. There won't be any more videos from The Gift's YouTube page. You can still subscribe to his channel and see some of his other videos, but the Frank Stallone content is down. We have some comments here. Louise says, "You ruined it for him, you bastards." We're sorry. We're sorry, Louise. Yeah, I know. We're sorry. You don't blame us. This is Frank's fault. If you think about it, this is actually kind of Frank's fault. We got sucked into the universe, and there's some casualties in the Frank universe. All right. So now Frank has returned, of course, from his big trip from Italy, Florida, Toronto. He talks about this in his first clip in front of the camera in quite a while. That's what he has to say about that.
Morning, everybody. I'm back. USA, terra firma. It was a tough one. Florida to Bari, from Bari to Rome, from Rome to Toronto, from Toronto to Philadelphia, back to Florida, and back here, like 25 days.
I love how he calls USA terra firma. Insinuating that USA is it. That is the Earth. That's the world.
That's it.
So he's back on Earth. He's back in the normal civilization of USA. Let's be honest. Everything in the USA is kosher, normal.
Everything's good. Everything's good. Everything's fine.
Now, of course, he's outside. You hear clanging and banging. His
guy hammering something right off screen.
Can't do it anymore. But it's really good to be back here. And of course, in Italy, we couldn't go anywhere because I was with my brothers. Always 500 people, 1,000 people hanging around.
So he talks about while he was in Italy, he couldn't really relax and enjoy Italy because he was with Sly, which is fair. So I have a recommendation, Frank. Hop back on a plane to go to Italy. No more crowds.
Yeah, definitely.
But you could experience it without the crowds.
That's an interesting gym bag he's got. Looks expensive.
Oh, I'm sure. Nothing but the best for the Frankster. Nothing but the best. The glasses he's wearing on his head could feed a family for a month.
Definitely.
Italian's a little pazzo anyway. Yeah.
So you just said the Italians are crazy?
Yeah, that's a slang. My mother says that a lot about people.
What does it mean in English? Is there a word?
It's like crazy.
Okay. Is that now you're Italian, Dom? Is that fair? Are Italians crazy?
Yeah, no, they definitely are. I could say that.
As a fellow Italian, you can do that. Okay.
Yes.
It was the greatest thing about Rome is the architecture. As far as everything else, when I got back and saw an NFL football game, I go, okay, I'm back, baby.
Frank, the king of segues, right? So he's talking about his trip to Rome, which would be amazing to see the architecture there, wouldn't it? To see the old buildings and everything. And the first thing he mentions, but when I came back home and saw NFL, then I knew this is where I belong.
It's essentially saying I came back home and I had some McDonald's, and I was like, all right, I'm in the right place now.
It's all good now. Life is good. No more Roman Coliseum for this guy. I'm going to go watch an NFL game.
But it was a long trip. It was fruitful. We wrapped the second season of The Family Stallone.
So we called that. We called that when he was doing that stuff in Italy. We said there was a camera crew. Remember, we called that when the Frank was singing on the stage there, or sorry, quote unquote singing,
yelling into a microphone,
yelling. We saw that professional crew. We said that was for the Family Stallone reality show, and we called it. And it's the season finale, which makes sense. The big visit would be the season finale.
It's a lot of work, a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of funny stuff, and now. It's just good to be back. We had a good workout, Alex and I, my first day for a few weeks. But
he's back. He's doing his workout, Dom. He's back.
He's back with Alex.
He's back with Alex, yeah.
How big do you think apart? You think we're getting more Frank in the second season of The Family Stallone?
Oh, maybe. I think they heard our reviews about it. You
think that's what it was?
I think our show is pushed into the foreground of the Family Stallone producers. How big of a... Look, we got a whole channel shut down. This is the kind of impact that Frank has on people's lives, man. It makes us do crazy things.
Funny thing is, people go to Italy, you'll get fat.
Okay. We're back to the body positivity. So he couldn't go one video without mentioning fat. Fat back. So he said people told him, if you go to Italy, you're going to get fat.
I guess because the food's so good, you're going to eat pasta and everything. You're going to eat spaghetti. You're going to eat pizza.
Sure. Okay. So his family and friends warned him, don't go there, Frank. You're going to get fat.
I left at 192. Now I'm 188.
He showed them.
No, I'm not gaining weight in Italy.
He lost 4 pounds. This guy's insane. So he weighed himself before he left and weighed himself when he got back. What's the point?
He took it as a challenge. The Frankster's not going to gain any weight.
And just just getting back a little bit.
So he said, just getting back a little bit for our listeners who aren't watching this on YouTube. I can't stress enough to watch this on YouTube, but that's okay. He flexed his arm. They gave a little flex, but I'm back. I'm back on the weights. My arms are looking good.
Have a great day. Take care of yourself.
All right. Thanks, Frank. You too. Okay. This next one is amazing.
Amazing.
I know all of our listeners are following Frank on Instagram, but the reason why Dom and I do this segment is for those people who follow Frank on Instagram, because there's not just Instagram. You have to go beyond Instagram to get the whole story. Okay, folks?
The whole Frank story.
So on his Instagram, he has this picture. Now he's holding a palm-sized trophy. It's some sort of figure of some sort. What would you call this kind of figure? It's abstract. Yeah, it's like an abstract. Of a figurine holding up a star above its head.
Yes.
And the trophy looks like something you might buy at the dollar store. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Something maybe you'd get in like elementary school if you did something good.
Yeah, like you had a perfect attendance in grade 5 for the month of October. So it's in his hand. And the title of the trophy is Joy of Everything, the Lifetime Achievement Award. Now, Dom, if I were to tell you that a celebrity of any purport won an award called the Joy of Everything, what would your thoughts be on this achievement?
I would think that they just made up an award to get somebody to come somewhere or something like that.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Have you ever heard of this prestigious award, the Joy of Everything?
I have not.
No, you're not the only one. But Frank Stallone received the award. It's a lifetime achievement. Now check out what Frank had to say about receiving this award. And just to tease our listeners, I have a video. I have the actual video of him receiving it. It's a big ceremony.
Oh, yes.
Frank said this: I was leaving a restaurant last night okay, sorry again, guys. I'm reading as he writes it, and the grammar's not correct, so I have to correct myself as I read it. I was leaving a restaurant last night with something, but he didn't say what, and there were paparazzi and fans. Okay. Now, Dom, you've seen the video, correct?
Yes, I have.
Do you want to let the listeners know how many paparazzi and fans might have been clustered around?
I can't count. There's so many, Ryan, that I cannot count.
I love how he states this. If you read this, you think there's Harry Styles level, or even with his brother Slide level of fans outside the restaurant.
Right. Frank is very proud of this award. He was proud enough to post it. This is important to Frank. This is a lifetime achievement.
And he thinks by not posting this, we're not going to dig deeper. Oh, no, Frank. We're digging. And he says, and one of the paparazzi gave me this nice trophy. Yeah, nice. It's a trophy. Yeah. And he goes on to say, I said, I guess he's saying, speaking to the person giving the trophy, I said, for what? His grammar. Are you reading how this grammar is? Okay. I'm actually doing Frank a favor here for our listeners, trying to read it properly. So Frank says, for what? He said, you are nicest person to us paparazzis. And now, did Frank forget how to speak English when he went to Italy? Is this what happened? He was so wrapped up in the Italian that he forgot to speak proper English and write it.
He got used to the Italian over there.
Or I think what it was, he was so excited to share this with the masses that he just couldn't type properly. He goes on to say, I was flattered. Then he gives us his wonderful wisdom. You ready? It doesn't cost anything to be nice to the press and your fans. Thank you. I'm very flattered. Hashtag Los Angeles photographer. Hashtag paparazzi. Hashtag gentleman. Hashtag be nice. Hashtag Craig's restaurant. Shout out to Craig's restaurant. Okay. You ready for the footage of him receiving this?
I'm so ready.
Okay, here we go. Here's the footage. Now, try to see if you can find Frank in the sea of people.
Yeah, the flashing bulbs, everything. You might get lost.
Out the way.
Thank you.
How you guys, you upholding you listen to Def Leppard, what I say?
Mr. Stallone,
very quickly, he's signing a couple things. There's about 3 photographers there. There's somebody there with, you can tell it's memorabilia that he's going to sell on eBay. Frank doesn't care.
He just wants to sign something.
He's just happy to sign anything because the guy had 4 or 5 different things of, come on, you're not that big of a, it's just some, you could tell he's an eBay autograph chaser. They're the worst type. They're the worst types. So Frank looking a little bit Joe Biden-ish here because he looks a little disorientation look to him.
Right.
The guy
right.
calls out to Frank to give the award to him, and you can tell Frank, and rightfully so, thinks it's a joke. Like somebody's trying to prank me on camera or make me look stupid. So he's very hesitant at first. So keep that in mind while you watch this. But he snaps out of it once he realizes he has the gold trophy in his hand.
We have an award out here. It's the Joy of Everything Lifetime Achievement Award. This only goes to celebrities who are very kind to us out here. That's nice. And it is. And this is yours for your for your achievements in cinema, film, and music. Aww. But more importantly, thank you for enhancing our lives out here.
Okay, this guy who's ever presented this award, this guy's a moron. Okay, think about it. He's paparazzi, so he's giving this award to somebody who's kind to the paparazzi. Okay, there's two reasons why Frank is getting this award. One, Frank is grateful that anyone's taking this photo.
Right.
You can't. There's certain celebrities, no offense to Frank, where they're so happy there's somebody taking a photo of them because that confirms in their mind that they're still a celebrity.
Mm-hmm.
Harry Styles, I mentioned him earlier, or Taylor Swift, they're never going to get the award of Joy of Everything from the paparazzi.
No way.
Because they're sick and tired of it. These people are so invasive and so rude. Would you want cameras and microphones in your face all day, Dom? I know we're a very popular podcast, but
Frank, his eyes light up like he's getting an Oscar or something like that. You could see the joy in his face right away.
And thank you, because he's so nice to the paparazzi. Yes. Because you're both sycophants for each other. You're both like leeches for each other. One requires it for their self-worth. The other ones are like, yeah, sure, we got a picture of Frank, hoping to catch a fly with him.
Exactly.
It's very easy to be nice to press and people.
Okay, so I love how right away he goes into acceptance speech mode.
I want to thank the Academy.
He goes, it's really easy to be nice to the press and to people. And then he goes back to signing another eBay thing.
You said they caught him off guard, but do you think this was somewhat staged? Did he know this was coming?
Legit. You could see in Frank's eyes at the beginning, he was a little bit like, is this a joke or not? He wasn't too sure. And I messaged, this is on YouTube. The Joy of Everything has a YouTube channel.
Oh, really? Does it?
And I actually commented, I said, I can't tell if you guys are punking him or not.
Did they respond?
They responded with, no, this is legit. And I'm like, okay, we're talking about it in our next episode. So I think it's even worse that it's real. Sorry. I think it's way worse that it's real. Do you think Frank deserves an award for being nice to people?
It must have been a slow day with the paparazzis. I mean, they were just...
Have they seen his Instagram about talking about fat girls and fat back?
That's what I was thinking exactly, too.
You know, it's really easy to be nice, blocking people and getting mad at their comments or different opinions and being pretty much semi-racist. Yeah.
Trying to tell races how to act.
I'm glad he got the award. I'm glad the joy of it. Hey, you know what? He's given us lots of joy. So maybe he does deserve the award.
Items, so that's cool. Absolutely. Absolutely. I got one more. Yeah.
Oh, he's got one more. Okay, he's got one more for eBay.
There you go. Thanks.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Personalize it.
He goes back to the speech. This is really nice. Thanks a lot. And he's trying to find the guy who was actually giving the award. So he's holding the award up. And this is actually embarrassing.
The world needs more Frank Stallones. And
That's a bold statement.
Look what happens when we have one Frank. It's destroying our podcast. It's destroying another person's YouTube. We don't need more.
You're very welcome. It's an honor.
It's easier to be kind than being a nasty person.
Frank just said it's easier to be kind than it is to be a nasty person. I guess Frank likes to live the hard life.
It's very easy for Frank to say the things he says on Instagram when he fights with people.
I love it.
I'm very grateful for everything I have. I'm not the richest guy in the world. I'm not the most famous guy in the world. I'm happy.
He says, I'm very grateful for everything. I'm not the richest guy in the world, and I'm not the most famous. True statements, Frank. True statements.
Very humble there, Frank.
Yeah, but it goes, I have a good life. Yeah, your life is pretty jammy. No wife, no kids. You're a millionaire. Mm-hmm. You get to perform and walk around, eat at restaurants, travel the world. Yeah, your life is pretty good. And on top of that, you got a Joy of Everything award, so you're lucky.
Huh? Are you going to show your brother your award? Yes, of course.
So the guy goes, are you going to show your brother your award? And Frank says, yes, of course.
What'd they make that? Who'd they make that for? Where'd you get that? Would you win a field day or something?
Wait, thank you so
Take care.
much.
You're welcome.
Take care, brother. God bless. Stay safe. Be good to each other.
And he's driving away, and whoever's driving him must be Alex driving him.
It's got to be Alex, yeah.
And he's driving away, and Frank yells out, "Be good to everyone."
Take care, pal.
There you go.
So everyone congratulate Mr. Frank Stallone. Okay. All right. Now this next one, remember we talked about one of our videos that I think we mentioned this because this was on the Family Stallone, that he had a life-size statue of his brother in the Rocky character. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Frank is wearing headgear and he's wearing the scrubs from the previous episode. No, but these might be different scrubs because these don't have the monogram on them.
I was just thinking too, they don't have the monogram, so he just dresses up in scrubs just like that.
Yeah. People are saying in our comments before we move on to the next video with Frank, people are saying that they think it's a joke. I assure you guys, it's not a joke. I hear you. I know you think it's a joke. I Googled this guy. So the guy that gave him the award, just so you know, he was an ex-producer on TMZ. And he's handed out that award to a few other people that were not Frank Stallone type people. And I don't think it's a joke. And I think the response I got on the YouTube channel was legit as well.
Who are the other people he sent it out to?
Oh, who was it? I forget.
And not notable. Not as notable as Frank.
So everyone's saying it's a joke. Hey, let us know in the comments, people. We got people saying it's a joke. I'm going, it's real. If it's the joke, then good job. They got me and they got Frank. Okay. Frank is, again, dressed up in scrubs gear without the monogram. So I guess he's got another pair without the monogram. He's wearing headgear. Now he's talking to the Rocky dummy statue, but he's doing it in the Rocky. So am I tracking here, Dom?
It's very strange, this video. Very strange.
Okay, so he's talking in the Rocky voice, but to Rocky. Does that make sense? But he's not speaking for the Rocky character. He's talking to Rocky in Rocky's voice, dressed up as a doctor wearing headgear.
There's somebody's signature on the headgear, too.
Of course. It's probably his brothers. It's probably
his brothers. You're right.
Brad, I'm doing this for your benefit. You took too many shots in the rings. We're going to have to take you someplace. And you're going to a happy place, you know what I mean? You know, we're going to take you to a place that no one can find you till you heal up, you know what I mean? Because you did take too many shots. The only difference was, after Rocky 1 and 2, all of a sudden you got good looking in Rocky 3, you weren't punchy, you had no scars. But we know you took too many shots that fucking hit.
Wow, language, Frank.
Dropping the F-bomb, Frank.
He takes off his headgear at the end, looking at the camera that Alex is holding. Does he think he's funny? Is that the idea?
I certainly think so. I think that's what he thinks.
So what he's talking about, he's saying he's taking the Rocky statue to a better place. He's got it on a dolly, strapped to a dolly. They're moving this out of Frank's house to a better place. And then he goes on to say in Rocky 1 and 2, you were punchy or whatever. And then Rocky 3, you got civilized, your face got fixed up. And I also find it funny that the brother of Sly does a really horrible Sly impersonation.
He does. Yeah, he doesn't do a good one. I was thinking that too. I don't want to be cocky because maybe I think I do a better one.
I think you do a better one. Tell us what he should have said there, Dom.
I don't know why I got this thing in my house, but it's creepy and I'm going to get it out of my house because it's scaring everybody away. Maybe it's scaring the women.
Perfect. Way better. That was just off the top of your head. Your beautiful head.
I'm a beautiful bald head.
I didn't want to say bald because that's not what defines you.
Frank's bald too, so it's okay.
How dare you? That is natural hair on his head. He's never gone to an appointment for that hair. Are you kidding me? So the next video is we see the dolly and the Rocky mannequin statue in the back of a van. So he's talking about how they should have called for an ambulance, but one wasn't available, so they threw it into a van. That's the joke here. Let's check it out.
Hi, this is Dr. Francois Stallone, and
so now he's referring to himself as he really identifies as a doctor every time he puts those.
I think he's starting to believe it, Ryan. I think he might start to believe it at some point.
But why is he wearing them? Why did he put them on?
That's what I mean, though. It's not even the ones with his name on them. It's getting weird.
Are these going to be monogrammed later?
Maybe. What are your theories on where this Sylvester Stallone statue is going?
I don't know if this is show related or something with the
That's
reality
what I was
show.
thinking too. Yeah.
Do you think he took the dolly down, or was it Alex that carried it down?
Somebody else off screen. I think there's two guys waiting off screen as he's doing this video. Watching. I don't think he lifted this with Alex because it looks like they had to go up high, pretty high, to get it on top of that other stuff.
Yeah, he didn't lift it in there.
we couldn't get an ambulance, so I had to call my maintenance man. And there's old Rock. We had to put him in feet first. It's a little
So he says we had to put him in feet first. That is actually incorrect.
That's not right. I was thinking the same thing.
It's actually head first. His feet are poking out the rear. So it's head first. Unless they put him in feet first from the front somehow.
Maybe.
And pushed him to the rear.
But I'm going to go with what you said. I think he's just wrong. Yeah.
Frank is wrong. That's weird.
That never happened.
Dignified for the rock, but you can see he's suffering some pugilistic dementia.
He's saying he's suffering pugilistic dementia. Yeah, some brain damage from boxing. But again, I don't get... He's made no context to why this mannequin even exists, let alone why it's in his van.
Why isn't it? It's like in his bedroom, too.
Dementia pugilistica. Even though he was in the movie, he got hit too much. So we decided to put him in a sanitarium so he clears his head, which I think will never happen.
So he's like making fun of his brother and the character at the same time. But again, we don't know where this is really going. But did you notice Frank's hair is really looking really carpety lately?
That's because it is a carpet, right?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's made from the same materials.
But anyway, it's a little undignified, but it works. Where's an ambulance when you need one? Jesus Christ.
Oh, whoa. Frank with the language on these last two videos. Drops the F-bomb that says the Lord's name in vain. How soon did he forget his visit with the Pope?
Yeah, seriously. The Pope would be very disappointed, Frank.
Are you allowed to do that? I'm not Catholic, but saying the Lord's name in vain, isn't that one of those religious commandments?
I think it's a sin or something like that. I think it's wrong. It's frowned upon.
He just shook hands with the Pope like a week ago. He's dropping the Lord's name in vain.
There was no other better way. To transport that too. It looks like it's going into like a mechanic's van or something like that.
He did say it was a maintenance man. It was full of tools. The mystery continues. I thought the GIF YouTube channel was a mystery, but where that mannequin's going, that's a real mystery. To say again, check out our YouTube channel for this, but I'll try to describe it. So this is on Frank's Instagram, of course. So I guess it's referred to as a bust. Is that right? When you have okay, so it's like a sculpted bronze bust or something. Apparently it's of Frank, but it looks more like a really bad bust of Sly.
Maybe somebody messed up Sly so bad, and Sly gave it to Frank and was like, "Yeah, somebody made this for you. It's supposed to be you."
I thought the exact same thing. But it's a bad version of Sly.
Did you ever see the music video to Lionel Richie's Hello? By any chance?
Oh, yeah.
This is what this reminded me of.
That's funny. That's awesome. So he goes, the name of the person who did this bust here, this says, Les Pipos did this bronze of me years ago, and I was flattered. And still, and what? I was flattered and still, and that someone do that for me. What is...
When you read Frank Stallone, you turn into Rocky 2. That's how you have to read it. Les Pipos did bronze of me years ago. I was flattered. It made me smile mainly. And still, that someone do that for me. Hashtag bust. Hashtags bronze sculpture. Hashtag grateful.
Oh my gosh. That is a Wish.com version of Sly's face, is what that is.
Why would Les Pipos do this? Whoever he is, why? I got a lot of questions.
Alistair in our chat says he thought that was David Hasselhoff. That's a good call.
David Hasselhoff. It definitely does.
Holy smokes. Okay, now I wanted to share this picture because this is actually very exciting, Dom. So this picture of Frank, he's at a cafe or at a restaurant or at a bar or whatever. He goes, at Craig's. Oh, it's Craig's restaurant again. Okay. Boy, if you want to meet Frank, go to Craig's restaurant. That's where. So he goes at Craig's with my team. Why is he with his team, Dom? He's working on a new brilliant product. Stay tuned.
Ooh. What did he tag there? He tagged West Side Water.
Yeah, it's a whiskey place. So I was thinking, is it whiskey related? Maybe.
Maybe Frank Stallone. Maybe the Frankster's getting his own whiskey.
Oh man, can you imagine getting drunk on a Frank whiskey?
I'm buying it. If there's a Frank Stallone whiskey, I'm sending it to you as a gift.
Please. Oh, dude, we'll drink on air together. What kind of damage could you do with a Frank drink?
Ooh. They just want the Stallone name. It's going to be like how the documentary was. Stallone, whiskey, and then in parentheses, Frank.
Yeah, I did click on the West Side _water _whiskey, and they only have 100 followers. It looks like it might be a newish thing. So maybe, he's going to collab with a whiskey. That's my guess. Right. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Before we close this video, I want to share with you, Dom, his live Instagram right now, because Things have been happening so quickly. People are like, you guys are a stupid podcast. I know. Look, we recognize this is ridiculous. Frank posted that he was playing at the Palms in Vegas. Do you want to give an update on your possible show?
Yeah. I'd like to give an update because I feel a little betrayed now, too, for somebody who wasn't paying for tickets, that I have no right to feel betrayed. But Frank Stallone was supposed to be in my neck of the woods. As I'm in New York, he was supposed to be in Atlantic City. I contacted my father because the casino that Frank was going to be at, he's a frequent visitor. My father was able to get me tickets. I was supposed to go, me, my father, and a friend of ours. And unfortunately, my father just told me that the Hard Rock, the venue, canceled the show.
Yeah.
So it wasn't Frank Stallone canceling it. It was the Hard Rock.
Do you have any guesses to why that might be?
My theory, and my father thought this as well, was that they didn't sell enough tickets.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Which I was hoping to go. I was going to get some firsthand footage of the Frankster for the podcast.
Yeah, of course.
Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it's happening, Ryan.
It looks like he had a great show at the Palms in Vegas. You can see him here. Capacity crowd there at the Vegas. And then he posted this, and I want to comment on this. He said, have you seen the documentary yet, Frank Stallone? Or sorry, Stallone, Frank, that is?
My brother saw it, and I just never got around to watching it, but I should.
Okay, so my good friend Derek Wayne Johnson was the director of that. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Derek is like the nicest, coolest, greatest guy. Friend of the show, online friend in real life. One day we'll meet in real life, give each other a bro hug. Just a great guy. He's as nice as he is handsome. And unfortunately, that's all I can say legally about this documentary. But he says here on his picture, he posted this, winner of the best documentary feature at the Garden State Film Festival. Congrats, team. And he did hashtag sort of Derek. Now, I Googled this. They didn't win it this year or in 2022. And I can't remember exactly when it came out. It was hard to find. For Derek's sake, I wish and hope they won it, but I couldn't find if this was true. Yeah.
So that's obviously like a New Jersey festival, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, Garden State's New Jersey.
Oh, I see. Of course, yes.
But I don't know. I haven't heard anything.
So if anyone can find the verification that it did win, again, for Derek's sake, most importantly for Derek's sake, because he
most importantly.
Lastly, this is the last picture. Just came in off the press. That's why I had to share the screen the way I am right now. Frank Stallone posted this. There's a picture of an old ice cream truck. Kids are on top of it, buying ice cream. Everyone's so happy with this ice cream truck. Frank says, "This is the world I grew up in, where the most important person in the neighborhood was the good humor man who sells these ice cream." Okay. This was the most important man in the neighborhood. Then he goes on to say, not the local drug dealer. Hashtag 1960s. Again, he just can't say what a good memory it was to get ice cream bars when I was a kid. He has to bring in the drug dealers that are now occupying Philadelphia street corners.
What's funny, I've been in areas in New York where like literally the ice cream man also sells drugs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Ice cream is just as addictive as heroin for some people. I'm not going to lie to you. I think that's it, though. I think we're done.
That concludes another episode of Frank Stallone. Who is this guy?
Welcome to another episode of It's a Long Road, the Rambo series podcast, where we break down the Rambo film. Are you ready, Dom?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Remember where we last left off? Rambo drove in his truck, and he swallowed a bunch of pills. Right? Yeah, he's going to Mexico.
Swallowed a bunch of pills.
And yeah, here's the next shot here of outside Mexico nightlife. It's basically it's the underground dungeon where the girls are being held, where Gabrielle's being held with the other girls that are sex slaves and trafficked to be used for sexual purposes. Very apropos for that film that made the rounds and made some headlines recently, the Sounds of Freedom. Is that
right? Right. Yeah, Sounds of Freedom.
Which one do you think helped sex trafficking more? Sounds of Freedom or Last Blood?
I'm going to go with Last Blood. I actually heard, you might have saw the article, that one of the guys involved in producing that movie ended up being a sex offender or sex trafficker.
No, so let's not besmirch the name of Tim Ballard. There might be, there's a lot of back and forth on that. Let's just say,
allegedly.
If you're like an undercover cop, and sometimes you got to take a bump to prove that.
Right, Donnie Brasco situation kind of thing. You gotta.
So sometimes you gotta taste the wares to prove.
You gotta make it believable. You gotta live the life.
That's right. Let me just say, you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. You know
exactly.
What I mean?
Exactly.
Okay. So let's not besmirch the name of Mr. Tim Ballard.
La neta.
So I'll translate, of course. Luis is our resident Spanish speaker here, but I'll translate for the non-Spanish speakers. So the guy is saying, the truth is, I like dogs, is what he's saying. This is that guy, the crazy guy that we talked about earlier in the last episode. Yeah, he's the kind of the loose cannon sex trafficker. So he's talking about dogs. He goes, but if one of them runs away, he says, it pisses me off. So he's dragging a girl with her. So I assume this girl ran away, got away, tried to get away, and now he's mad about her trying to get away. Mm-hmm. So he's angry. It needs to be punished. What can I say? It brings me down. He goes, if one of you gals wants to run away, I edit for the show. We try to keep the show as PG as we can.
Unless it's Frank Stallone dropping the F-bomb.
Yeah. So I'll leave the cursing to, in the Lord's name in vain, I'll leave it to Frank. He goes, if one of you gals, another word for girl, wants to run away, go ahead, run.
Córrale. Pero las voy a encontrar.
But I will find you.
Y me las voy a cargar.
I will kill you.
Por esta.
I swear. Now, if you were thinking about running away and you saw this might stop you from doing it. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Gabrielle sees this. She's new to the sex trade. She is. Mm-hmm. She's new to this, so she's seeing kind of how things are run here. I would say the mental health of the employees here is pretty low.
Yes.
So we have a person who's not Rambo driving this truck. It's Rambo, the character is supposed to be in this truck, driving through the streets of Mexico. But this is like an outdoor shot, but you can see with the silhouette there and the hairstyle, it was not Stallone, it was another person driving. Which is fair. Rambo has found the location where Gabrielle's father lives, right? Right. Now he's driving around. We're led to believe everything is evil in Mexico. Is that kind of what we're getting here?
That's the narrative I think they're forming.
The music. He's just driving outside. It's not like all of Mexico is just one big crime-ridden. I assume there's wonderful places to be. In fact, I've been to Mexico a few times.
Yeah,
in my Navy. Yeah, it's wonderful. There's some beautiful people and beautiful. But for the sake of this movie, of course, the area that he's in, sure, it's run down, scary.
Right.
But he's found the address that Gabrielle was at just like 24, 48 hours ago. Gets out of his truck. But even as he's walking through the apartments, there's people fighting. A lot of
screaming. Yeah.
No rest for the wicked in this part of town. Now he knocks on the door, but do you love how he knocks on the door? He palms the door with his hand. I don't want to hurt my knuckles.
He's got to save his fists because he knows he's going to be punching people in the head.
Yeah, he palm knocks, which is interesting. I love that. The dad opens it. Now they know each other.
Oh, they definitely know each other. He told that story.
We're looking for Gabrielle. She's not here.
Did they find a really short Mexican?
Oh, no. Is that hard? Is that difficult?
I don't know. What's the average height of that? I don't know. Are they not known to be taller? I don't know. So I think we talked about this for slides. Can we do a country where the people are
shorter than Italians? What is it? So Italians, the bar is like here, and then I guess Mexicans are right here. We're pretty neck and neck.
Yeah, but I guarantee you, Sly's wearing something under his feet there.
Oh yeah, he's standing on a box or something.
'Cause he's about a half a foot taller than this guy.
Where is she? I don't know anything. All this shit is because of you.
Kind of true. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
If he was a good father, Gabrielle wouldn't be there looking for him.
I should have broke your fucking neck 10 years ago.
It's just reminiscent of my favorite line from the.
Don't hold out.
I should have broke your neck and raped you 50 times.
again, for our listeners, he slams both of his big meat paws on the other side of this guy's face against the door, and just scares him. So nothing else happens to this guy. Are we forgetting? That's it. This is a scare thing. I thought we got tossed around a bit, but I guess not.
Yeah, maybe we were wrong. Maybe it's escaping my mind.
So that's all. I think it was just a bit of a palm threat. And look at that stare down of death. The Rambo walks out after that altercation, feels the need to take more meds. Oh yeah, he just chucks him on the ground. Sorry, I forgot.
That's it. He's bring on the voices.
What's her name again? Whatever.
Doesn't matter.
Gangbang chick, friend of Gabrielle's, was walking around outside.
Giselle.
Giselle, that's right.
Giselle.
I love how Rambo just comes out of nowhere. Joe. And she goes, "Who are you? What? What do you want?" Wait, she doesn't know John?
That's what's weird. Yeah.
Didn't Maria say that?
Yeah. Maria knows her. So like John would have been there hiding in the shadows.
Well, he's only been there for 10 years. So did Giselle leave when she
maybe.
Yeah. So Giselle could have been there between the ages of like 7 and 9 and left.
That's possible.
Okay. So she doesn't know who he is. My name's John. You might have heard of me. I was that guy up in the Pacific Northwest in the 80s who blew the town.
He goes through all the movies. Like, then I lived in Burma for a while. I was a ferry guy.
I told her to rip their heads off. They would listen.
It's just, she gave me the necklace in the second movie, and then that kid wanted the necklace, so I gave him the necklace.
My name is John. We've met a few times before. I'm looking for Gabrielle.
She's not here.
He said we did meet a few times, but she was a kid. That's fair. When you're a kid, you don't remember all those adults from your life. But you think you'd remember a guy like John Rambo.
How could you forget a guy like John Rambo?
Do you know who she could be?
I don't know. She wanted help finding her own man. That's all I know.
Oh, she's lying. That's not all she knows.
Mind if I ask you a few questions about what happened?
Okay, but I don't know much.
Inside, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Even she recognizes danger. She's okay.
She was so sad. He basically told her to fuck off, and I just wanted to help.
Do what happened?
What happened? She was crying a lot, and it made me feel bad, and I didn't want to bring her back to this shithole because it's depressing. So I thought it might be better if I took her out, calm her down, get her head clear, maybe get some drinks. And then we went to this place, and then we got separated, and then I don't know what happened.
How?
Because I drank too much. It happens. I was talking to a couple friends, and then I looked up, and she wasn't there, and I looked for her everywhere. And I thought maybe she left. I don't know. I don't know.
She left without saying goodbye.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe somebody drove me there, and I don't even know who. And yeah, I said I was fucked up.
Jeez, settle down. I just asked the question if you knew.
I know, right? She's coming off very defensive. She's playing this all wrong for Rambo.
You sound very defensive.
I just wanted to ask you some questions. Now you yell at me.
He should start forging a knife, actually, even better.
Do you got a forge around here? I'm getting really pissed off right now. So then he asked you, was she talking to any guys?
Was she talking to any guys?
What?
Was she talking to any guys?
I don't know, man. Maybe. She must have talked to a few guys. Yo, why are you asking me all this shit? Think I'm lying to you?
You called my house and said she never came back from her father's.
Yeah, I was giving you a heads up.
Or covering your ass.
Man, fuck.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Stick a finger in my face.
Okay. But yeah, to Rambo's credit, he might have made a good detective. You called my house. You trying to cover something up. Yeah, so she pointed it in his face, and he grabs her wrist. I love it. Yeah. She is annoying. Break her wrist, man. This girl's annoying. Sorry, I shouldn't advocate. I apologize. Strike that from the record, Dom. Strike that one from the record.
It's deleted from existence.
Thank you.
Where'd you get this?
Oh, so he grabs the wrist, because what's on his wrist, Dom? What's on her wrist?
Her bracelet.
That's right. Gabby's bracelet.
Yeah.
Give it to me, man.
It was her mother's.
Oh, the bracelet was her mother's. Oh, she robbed the wrong bracelet. Remember we saw earlier that she looked at the bracelet? I'm gonna steal that from her. So how did she get the bracelet from Gabrielle?
I guess those people, when they took her, maybe they gave her a little fun bag.
Right. You know when you go to a kid's birthday party when you're little?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, when you bring a girl to a sex trafficking, they give you like little treat bags.
Here's what's left to her. Here's what's left. There you go. You can have it.
She'd never give it to you.
That's right.
You sold her out. She was your friend.
Fuck you! Get out of my place!
Oh man,
He does bring out the knife. He brought the knife out of nowhere, slams it on the table right in front of her face.
Look at me. You're gonna take me to that club. You're gonna show me who she was with. I'm gonna hurt you real bad.
Ooh. Now, this girl is so annoying, man.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's just a character. The actress is doing a good job, but she's so duplicitous and she's evil. She sold Gabrielle ultimately to Gabrielle's death. This is all her fault. She facilitated that death. Mm-hmm. I'll give credit to both to the writers and to the Rambo character that he ain't taking any crap. This might be a girl. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're female. You are in the way.
And I think once he saw that bracelet, he knew it was on.
Good call. Once he saw the bracelet, there was no doubt in his mind. Things are not as they should be. Right. Time's wasting.
Let's go.
The club. Packing some heat. Rambo got his gun ready. So I guess they didn't check the truck for any weapons when they crossed the board. They're pretty lax.
Right. Yeah. Like, oh, it's just Rambo. Let him go.
Shit, man, I can't go in there. People know me. I gotta live down here.
You gotta go inside. You gotta point him out. If you do anything else, I promise I'll put a bullet in your head before they get me.
Can you imagine? So she gives like some sort of like secret gang symbol, and Rambo recognizes it and just blows her brains out. I told you.
What do you think? I was also in a movie called Bullet to the Head. I'm not gonna mess around.
You might have seen that movie. It came out in 2015 and it was supposed to be pretty good. Had Jason Momoa, the Aquaman.
He was the villain in there.
He was pretty stoked to be the film, but
he's very veiny in that movie, if I must say. He's at peak veininess.
I think we talked about it when we covered that film on our Sylvester Stallone podcast. Check it out. Mm-hmm. That was the last film I think Slide took his shirt off.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. Yeah, he had all the tattoos and stuff, right? Isn't there like a bathtub scene or a sauna scene?
Yeah, there's a scene where he's shooting the gun or something with shirtless. But it's the last time he went shirtless in a film that I'm aware of, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. When was the last time he showed his bum on film? There's a good trivia.
A specialist?
Yes.
It is?
Yeah, Louise agrees. He says, that chick gets on my nerves so bad. Rambo should have shanked her in the face. Now, Louise, we don't advocate that kind of violence on our podcast. That was the opinions of Louise.
I'll allow it.
Dom allows it. Bring it back on the record. Let the record state her face should have been sliced open. So they're in the club right now. You ever go to these clubs, Dom, when you were young?
Not ones particularly like this.
I know they're shown in films and stuff, and I guess these kind of clubs exist, but it does not appeal to me at all. Never did, never went. I can't be with a bunch of people just dancing, hoping to score. It's such a lame. To me, I find it very lame culture. I don't know.
It's more of a bar guy.
Sure, just chill and talk. Yeah. I love this royalty-free techno music they have in these films. It's like
they should have put the Frank Stallone song from Staying Alive.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Imagine yeah, I know that song. It's so familiar.
I haven't changed. I'm just trying to keep a lid on it.
I think this is the director's cut stuff here. So Rambo's in his head.
Inner monologue, right?
It is an inner monologue. It says, I haven't changed. I'm just trying to keep a lid on it. Did he say that earlier in the film? Was that to Maria?
You know what? He did say it, I think, when he was talking. All right.
So he's just saying like he hasn't changed. He's just trying to keep his craziness under control, which is the medication, I think. So are we to let him bleed because he's not taking the medication more? That's how he can go on that killing spree later in the film?
Yeah, I think so.
He's unhinged.
Yeah. I think you gradually see him, even just now he's losing his patience. He pulled the knife on this one. He slammed it on the table. He's getting there.
So he's one of those people when they get older, they get angrier. Some get softer, Rambo gets angrier.
Right.
My world is a lot different from yours.
Because you don't know how bad it is. I know how black a man's heart can be.
I love how we're getting these flashbacks. You remember that scene from 10 minutes ago when I had this conversation with Gabrielle? Well, it's in my head now.
It feels a little redundant, honestly.
That's the guy, man, on the couch.
She's pointed it out to Rambo. There he is. He's with a bunch of girls and drugs and money. And so Rambo's got a visual sighting for this guy.
We cool, right?
Fuck off.
Such a funny thing for Rambo to say.
He doesn't curse too much. He curses in the third film.
Probably does he curse in his rant in the first one, like towards the end?
I think he might have. I think he does drop an F-bomb in that rant that nobody can quite hear. It's so hard to understand that I think it escapes the TV edit.
Yeah, he
like,
definitely curses in the fourth one.
What line are you talking about, Doc?
What's the line? I'm gonna fucking rape the fucking head off.
Oh man, I don't think he's ever said "f off" to anyone to their face.
No, it's funny. It's definitely funny.
I love that.
Get out of here.
All right. Ooh, new character, Don. Did you see that?
I completely forgot this character existed.
I admit I've seen this film once, and we're doing the director's cut. So if there's another Rambo podcast out there that you want to listen to, I understand. I get it. One that doesn't cover Frank, and one that knows the films better than me and Dom. But it's been a while since I've seen this film.
It's been a while.
4 years. I saw it in the theaters. That's it.
I think I saw it in theaters, and I watched this cut. I don't know if I watched it like a third time, but I watched it twice. Definitely.
I may have really. So you got more viewings than me. So Dom was mentioning the character that we'd forgotten. It's crazy to think. Yeah, there's a lady, and I even forget what her deal is. I think she's a reporter or something like that. Or
didn't one of her family members die because of this? And then
they cut to this other gringo in the bar, female, who happens to be there too, and she sees this guy who obviously looks out of place in this young adult dancing bar, and so she's looking at this guy. But why would she consider this guy to be anyone? He could be just the maintenance guy. He could be why is it of interest to her? He could be a whatever. But yeah, so Rambo stands to the side, scoping the place out, and the new character lady is looking at him as he looks out. Now the Mexican trafficker has 6 girls around him partying with him, which is interesting because they're not slaves. Yeah.
Maybe some of them are going to disappear after tonight.
Maybe. Now she's looking at him. Maybe she thinks he's suspicious. Maybe that he could be looking for girls.
That's possible.
Rambo's watching the Mexican trafficker. She's looking at Rambo, looking at him. She's looking at maybe she's put two together now. She watches Rambo walk away to follow the guy. The guy's like waving to a bunch of people. I guess he's a big deal in this club.
Deal. He's a big deal.
This is what Frank's life is like, actually, every time he goes to a restaurant.
People are handing him awards and stuff.
Waving, and he has to acknowledge everybody. It's very exhausting being a celebrity at Frank's guy. You know what's crazy? If Frank literally knocked on my door right now and to deliver a package to my wife, she wouldn't know who he is.
Same.
Think about that for a second. I've got a package here for Rebecca, my wife. She'd be like, cool, thanks.
Don't you want to give me something? Don't you want
me to sign something?
No, I'm good.
She's going, do you want me to sign something? No, do you want me to sign something? You're delivering the package. Why would I be?
And then right before she shuts the door, he starts singing.
Yeah, you might know this song. It goes like this. My wife would be like, what are you singing? You're insane. Who are you? If Sly came to the door, yeah, my wife would recognize Stallone. So that just shows you the difference between Sly and Frank. This guy's walking out arm in arm with a girl. Rambo's stalking him like a prey in the night. Okay, so he starts manhandling this girl, making out with her by his truck, opens the door, and then he pushes her in the truck violently.
Yeah, violently. This guy.
Oh, he's going to make love to her. Rough love making in the truck.
Oof.
So he's about to get going, and Rambo's like, the ultimate cock.
But he should have just said that as the cock block. He came behind him.
Rambo grabs his knife, puts it behind the guy's throat to pull him away from his fun activity. It's very nice of the Mexican woman trafficker. He tells her to leave. That's very nice of him to make sure she's not in danger. That's nice of him. So he's not all bad.
No, he's got the heart of gold, Rambo. You know that.
No, not Rambo. It was the Mexican guy said.
Oh, the Mexican guy said that. Yeah. Oh, wow.
That's very kind of him. Wasn't it him that did that?
Was it? I missed this.
I think it was. Either or, it was nice of them both to do it then.
Let her go.
It looked like he pulled a picture of Gabrielle out of thin air. Did you see that?
He's doing magic trick.
It was like a magic trick pull of the picture of Gabrielle.
You see that trick? You didn't know where it came from, right? Well, have you seen this girl?
When Uncle Tommy pulls the cord out of your ear.
He did pull it out of his ear.
Oh, man.
¿Dónde está?
Oh, where is she? He asked. Oh, look at Rambo with his Spanish. Oh, wrong answer. So the guy says, I don't know that B word. That's the wrong answer, dude. You got to. Why would you say that? You got a knife to your throat.
Wrong terminology. Ooh.
So he takes the butt end of his knife and just collapses his chest in a little
He
bit.
definitely broke his chest. Like he definitely broke his collarbone or something, I think.
You should have said, let me collect my thoughts for a second. Just wait. That's my advice to anyone. If you have a knife to your throat and somebody shows you a picture of a girl, it says, have you seen her before? Just say, I don't think so. Just give me a second here. Let me.
I don't think so, kind sir.
Yeah, kind sir with the knife to my throat. Okay, so there's no warning, nothing. So Rambo slams the knife to his chest, uses his other big meat paw, strangling the guy, pushes him into the truck where the woman used to be in the same position, and the Rambo then stabs him in the leg, full blade into his leg. Let me ask you again.
Maybe you don't understand the question. Sometimes I talk a little punch.
You know what's funny is Giselle could have literally pointed out anyone. Wrong guy.
The guy
that.
bartending.
Yeah, this could have just been some dude who's creeping on girls' shore. I know that's probably why the writers made him answer that way, because he is just a
right.
Because if it's just a guy trying to get lucky with a girl in a bar, you got the wrong guy. But right away, I will now strangle you. I will stab you in the leg.
I'm going to stab you in the leg. I'm not going to ask any more questions.
Okay.
I forgot about this part too.
You might want to avert your eyes, dear watchers on YouTube. So, for our listeners, the escalation of force is slamming your chest with the butt of the knife, strangling you with your left hand, stabbing you in the leg with the knife in the right hand, leave the knife in the leg, and now I'm going to insert my hand into your clavicle and rip it out.
My God. Very Michael Myers of him. Sticking his thumb in that.
Let's watch this, Abby. You ready, though? You ready?
I'm ready. Oh no. I forgot how graphic this was. He literally is Michael Myers.
Happy Halloween. We're filming this in October as we speak right now.
Oh, gosh.
Let me just say again, he put his thumb under your collarbone, right? The collarbone, right? That's the collarbone. So Rambo's strength is so incredible that he was able to insert his thumb through the skin tissue and muscle, grab the collarbone, and snap it in half like a twig to pull it through his skin. That's what just happened here.
Boy, that is rough.
I know Michael Myers is standing by. Oh wow, I'm leaving this guy alone. I'm going over. Even that's
super strength. Though super strength. You can't say that enough.
Alternate universe. You were given let's just say a real life body, but this was like a clone, but it had all the anatomy of a human. Okay. So would you have the ability to puncture its skin with your thumb? Could you do it if you were given like 10 hours?
I don't think so, man. I don't know what that was.
Rambo's like, I'd like to keep my thumbnail a little bit longer.
a little bit sharp. It's almost like its own knife. And then I just push it right through.
Because I would have told you after
I know. This guy should have just answered. Yeah, he didn't give him a chance to respond after the knife. He had to rip out his collarbone or whatever.
Start telling me where she is or I'll break it off.
Tell me where it is, or I'll break it off. It's already through his skin and in half. At that point, can you please just break it off? Because it's really gross right now outside of my skin. Yeah, it's a tough watch. It's a tough watch, folks. Nothing. And keep in mind, we're now about 40 minutes into the film, and now we're like violent all of a sudden. Slice. You remember that scene beginning part 4 where I showed you the dead kid bodies? We gotta amp it up just a little bit.
Come on, we gotta catch up now. We haven't had any violence in this movie.
Just think, this is the same guy that asked for a sandwich in the Pacific Northwest. How did we get here?
He didn't take his medication, Ryan. That's how.
Is that all it took? 1 day of no medication? That's the edge he lives on?
It's been like an hour.
Remember those pills? I smashed them. They keep cutting to it. I know. So the woman that was in the bar had followed them out, and she's witnessed this whole massacre. She's behind the truck. Okay, I've got something here. This is interesting.
Yeah. At that point, you got to G for your own safety, I think.
The guy has a collarbone out of his skin. He's a knife in his leg, and now Rambo's throwing him into the truck. He drives off the guy's truck. He's in so much pain and whatever. You just be like, what do? You have a knife in your... It's actually sticking out of your leg. He has both a knife sticking out of his leg and a collarbone sticking out of his skin.
Jeez.
Now, we have to keep in mind, don't feel too bad for the guy. He is a sex trafficker. He is a sex trafficker, okay? She runs to her vehicle to follow the truck, of course. He's got a good news scoop here to follow that vehicle. All right. We'll stop it there. All right. We didn't get any emails. If you want to send us an email, please do. The email is in the show notes. We'd love to hear from our listeners. Anyone that wants to offer their support to the Gift channel, subscribe to his videos.
Yes. The gift. We meant nothing by our comments. The gift.
We meant some things. We didn't truly mean that the kids were in danger. That was just a joke. And I feel bad. He mentioned a couple times it was misunderstood his whole life. He's been misunderstood. Wow.
Join the club.
Yeah, I know. All right. That's some good, brutal stuff. We appreciate it. Again, I don't know. Maybe next week we won't have any Frank. I don't know if Frank will release anything of note. There could be a week or two that he doesn't release anything of note. It's actually up to him. But it's not up to us. It's up to Frank. It's not even up to us. It's not our fault.
I always think that Frank's got more up his sleeve. I think,
so?
As long as Frank's around doing his Frank things, he's going to release something.
All right. Well, there you go, Dom. That is the end of this episode.
Nothing is over. Nothing. You just don't turn it off. It wasn't my podcast. You asked me to co-host. I didn't ask you.